everyone. Excited to be here. My name is Uptin, and I'm a journalist and content creator. I make videos for TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram about tech, money, and cultures. I'm based here in Dubai. Excited to be here today with all of you guys. So we're going to be discussing why are crypto exchanges still flourishing. So with that, let's get a short introduction from each of you. If you could introduce yourselves, what you do, and we'll go on from there.
My name is Mohammad Khalifa. I'm the CEO of Garantex. We are one of the largest crypto exchanges out of Estonia and Russia. And now we are established in the United Arab Emirates, and we are doing our business as per the regulator's requirement. I'm an ex-banker, a finance person, worked with different banks. I have experience with a lot of financial structuring, family offices. Also I've worked with different companies like AIG. I was the head of MENA. And I'm an ex-regulator. I used to work for the IFC. This is almost like a year ago. Because of Garantex, I had to leave the job itself. So therefore, the regulatory and the structure of the regulatory requirement experience comes from when I was the vice president of the IFC.
Amazing, thank you. Let's go to Osama.
Hello, my name is Osama. I'm a group CTO of the Difx. So I started my career 10 years before as a software engineer. I was working in the global software industry. And from last 7 years, I'm in the blockchain industry. I have worked in many blockchain projects. One of the best is the Difx. And we are creating a Difx project, Difx exchange, which actually user needs, like what all the, as a trader, I face so many issues. And we face so many problems also. That's what we are trying to solve in Difx. Thank you.
Wonderful. Andy.
Hi everyone, I'm Anndy Lian from Singapore. I'm a chairman of Bigone Exchange. We are registered in Netherlands, top 40 globally on CoinMarketCap. I am also the chief digital advisor to Mongolia. Today I'm here as a council member to Kishu Inu. And then of course I have many other hats. You know, I was the blockchain advisor to 22 countries. As part of the productivity organization. And then last but not least, we also own a fund registered in Singapore, currently at 500 million AUM. We invested in good projects, early projects, exchanges as well, like FTX, CoinDC, and so forth. So it's good to meet everybody.
Thank you for being here. Peter.
Hi everyone, thanks for having us here. My name is Peter. I'm a CEO of Bitmarkets, which is a crypto exchange, a newly established crypto exchange, focusing mostly on providing the best strategies for trading environment for users. And I'm actually coming from Slovakia. I used to work as a financial analyst back in Slovakia in one asset management company. So there's an experience in technical analysis, financial ratios and stuff. And since 2017, I've been into crypto space and also focusing more onto the fintech industry. And here I go. We decided to just establish a new crypto exchange in 2019, which is now the Bitmarkets. And I'll be happy to speak about today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you, and we have a bonus addition to the stage. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, hello everybody. My name is Shantnoo Saxsena. Sorry, I've got a special chair, can't help it, but last ones always get the best sometimes. But my background is payments. I did payments and cryptos. I've been in the crypto space for 7 years now. Started my crypto journey with Huobi, the crypto exchange from China. Currently, I'm the founder of Encryptus, which is a regulated OTC desk, and the acting COO for Lbank. Lbank has been in business for over 7 years. We have over 7 million users globally. And the focus really for Lbank is to go more local. We have been looking at building communities at a grassroots level. We are inviting best of the projects to come and be a part of the Lbank success story. We have set up our operations here in Dubai and looking forward to get deeper into markets within Africa, Indian subcontinent, and of course Turkey being one of the most favorable crypto markets. So that's what Lbank is all about. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys for your introductions, and we will have time for audience questions in a little bit, so start to think of your questions and we'll bring the mic around. But I want to dive in to this panel. So exchanges like Binance and FTX have had more than $1 billion just in profits last year. What are we going to see happen this year? And whoever wants to take it.
It's going to succeed that 100%, especially with what's going on in the political situation right now in Europe and Russia. Definitely it's going to be a big trading platform. All the exchanges that's going to be working, especially when the cash is related to that one. The solutions with the crypto exchanges or the crypto itself is providing today is a big slap to the conventional banking. All the banks that are putting a lot of obstacles for the repatriation cash between the cross-border. That is happening especially with different jurisdictions related to that, nationalities, the KYCs, which is unrelated to. It's easier for anybody to go through an OTC system or a trusted platform in order to transfer their cash. Especially right now, we see a lot of cryptos that are fixed or pegged to the dollar or fixed against a fixed number of currency, where you're not volatile like a currency that is not there. So therefore, you can use a crypto similar that you're using a dollar that you're putting in your pocket and going to another market or another jurisdiction in order to use it. The nationalities, for example, we see a lot of countries today, they are embargoed economically. We have Russia, we have Iran, we have Iraq, Syria, name them. And all of these people are going at some multi-billion-dollar businesses that are being run over there. So what is the solution for them? Crypto provided that. So when there is a solution through the crypto itself and blockchain that's coming, why not the crypto exchanges? The size is going to be it's going to be huge, and I'm expecting 3 times what it was last year. It's because just what's going on for the political situation in Russia, and what we see here in UAE also, what the market, especially all of the OTC licenses are out over here. I see a huge movement of cash from that. So this is a solution where the conventional banking is not helping the businesses to grow.
Do you think, though, we're seeing more regulatory scrutiny on crypto, right? Do you think that that's going to hinder some of this 3 times growth you're talking about?
It depends on where you're talking about this. If you're talking about the GCC, definitely not, because we see a lot of changes that are coming, especially with the news that came out yesterday that Binance has obtained the license from the only license from the Central Bank of Bahrain to be a crypto exchange. Over here in United Arab Emirates, we've got several licenses for that. We have, for example, from the DMCC, we have the OTC with the proprietary trading. We have multilateral license from ADGM, which is, again, a regulated license. It is from ADGM, which is a recognized international common English law jurisdiction with its own courts and its arbitration center. That means it allows the business to be regulated. Who's out of there? There are a lot of companies, the likes of BitOasis, they're capitalizing on this because they've got the in-principle approval right now. And there are many of them. We have companies like Swissquote, who've got the category 3A out of the IFC, which provides them the custodian services and execution services where they can do the crypto trading legally over here. And the custodian licensing itself, it allows them or helps them to open custodian accounts with several banks where they can have financial support for them and they can serve their clients. We have seen right now, which His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Bin who have signed off on the license of the Dubai World Trade Center trading license, which was declared last year again. So we are seeing multiple type of licensing in relation with the crypto, the regulation that's coming, the different jurisdictions they're signing with the professional companies, the likes of Binance and the large companies, 1inch, and they're entering the market over here. They're partnering with the government bodies in order to do that. This is in this region, but if we exit from the GCC, we are seeing different stories. And that is all because of the political driven and what is behind it, and depending on the system of the governments over there. Not getting into it in a political manner, but it's driven by the countries driving it politically on the political scene around the world. If we take an example, your country, United States, and Europe, Asia, and Africa. What are the different policies that they are implementing over there because of the contract, the binding contracts that they've got, the alliances that they've got with different powers that they've got over there. Different countries have got different allowances with the Central Bank of United States, especially with the taxation laws. Today we see India has got, they banned crypto trading. They come back and they say it's allowed, but you need to be VAT for 33%. So different jurisdictions, different places, different regulations are coming back. But overall, crypto is going to be the future, and we are seeing it. We have seen now two African countries have adapted as a payment method. We have seen Venezuela, we have seen even Nepal. To the extent, who would have thought Nepal would become a country that accepts cryptocurrency as a payment method?
Agree, disagree?
I have my own view on how things are going to be like. Yeah, you know, we operated as an exchange since 2017 and invested in many. You know, number one, I think staying regulated is a very good thing, to be very honest. That's the reason why personally I invested and also invested my time, you know, giving advice to government. I think this is a very good move to stay regulated. But the thing is, we have to also understand the other side of the things, which is innovation, right? If we kept ourselves in that sandbox or in that regulated environment, it will come a time where it will become the old centralized world that many of us, right in the beginning, 2012 and so forth, we were thinking that, you know, why are we talking about centralization? You know, we want to remove them, right? And then I think the fine balance between regulation and innovation is right now, you know. So all the good actors, all the good people, you know, on the stage, at the audiences, we have to understand, you know, why are we here? You know, is it because there is a chance for you to earn more money, you know? Or is it a chance where you can be part of a hype, you earn a few $1 million and you exit? That's not true. You know, people like Binance, FTX and so forth, they are all looking at long term. They invested in infrastructure, they invested in license, and most importantly, they invested in people. Not only their own staff, but also the community, right? So again, it comes to a point where we will ask ourselves, you know, is it better for an exchange to be located or have the legal entity in Seychelles versus Singapore versus South Korea, for example? It become a choice. You know, it become a choice where you want to be regulated and where your community is. You know, I totally disagree on things like, oh, because crypto is going to be, you know, reaching out to the unbanked, you know, there's a huge market and so forth. That's not true. Because if the country is already not doing well, adding crypto in might just mess up everything. You know, and having it regulated could also be another problem. So some countries, I think, is more heavy on innovation. Some countries are more heavy on people, community. For example, we talk about Indonesia, the Philippines, for example. There are tons of people, right? India, for example. And then some other countries which are more mature, for example, you know, like Singapore, Hong Kong, or the recent South Korea president, you know, which is very pro-crypto. Those places or those countries, well, they can go more heavy on the regulation part. So I think there is a good balance, and my concluding word is I think there's still a lot of good money out to be made. It's not only about Binance or FTX or Bybit, for example. It's not like that. You know, if you in your own jurisdiction do well, create your own community, and be very truthful in the things that you're trying to operate, whether you're a meme coin or you're a layer 2, as long as you're being very truthful, you really want to run the project, there's sufficient money out in the market for you to grow. There's sufficient exchanges for you to be listed. You know, so it's going to be a long-term process, you know.
And also, Andy, I completely agree with what you just mentioned, because there's another very important aspect that the exchanges actually need to really consider, and that's education. Because still we have billions of people all over the world. A lot of people are trying to get into the hype of buying cryptocurrency without even understanding what they are buying or what they are getting into, what the project is all about. And actually you asked $1 billion question about FTX and Binance, but also we have to really understand where the market is getting into. Look at last 3 months, it looks like it's more of a bear slash consolidation stage we are at. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball to say what the future is going to be, but I think it really depends what would be the next move of Bitcoin really from here. If the price goes towards a bullish trend, of course we would see the profitability to be probably much higher than $1 billion that we just described. However, if the consolidation stage continues for the next few months, you also have a big task of the things getting accumulated at an average price which is less than $50,000, versus if you compare 2021, where the average price was much higher. In general, if you see, we had bad 3 months, but we are still continuing with that trend and we don't know when this will end. So I think, going back to Andy, what you just said, education from crypto exchanges will play a very important role, so as the user experience, like how easy it is for a user to get in and out of cryptos, which is cash in and cash out, probably will determine who would actually be the next big leader.
I want to know, so, one of my video editors is in Russia. I used to pay him on PayPal. I can't do that anymore. So he asked for me to pay him in Bitcoin 2 days ago. And I've never paid anyone in crypto, right? I've only invested on Robinhood. So I'm kind of like, okay, which platform can I use as an American to pay him? And, walking around, you see a lot of exchanges. So I'm curious, does the market have room for all of these exchanges, a lot of these new players? And it'll be good to hear from Peter right now too. Or are we going to see a lot of them consolidate or go under?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, crypto exchange or crypto market as a whole can provide like all the possibilities that can come into the payment transactions. Yeah, and it's only focused on the cryptocurrencies. Also, you mentioned that the current tension in the Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of people, in my opinion, discovered the actual use of the cryptocurrencies and the benefits of them, like when it comes to the payment transactions, because they were just actually disconnected from the SWIFT, for example. It's kind of controversial topic, so I don't want to get into much details. But this is what crypto exchange can definitely utilize, and that users can actually benefit from. And also, when I get back to the points that the education was described by you, I think it's very important to connect the education, and with the upcoming regulations, the users will gain more confidence into investing or start utilizing the cryptocurrencies and using it as a form of some kind of future utility. So there's like a big future in this one, and with upcoming regulations that we have now, like many jurisdictions, many authorities are trying to get or find out the proper licensing for crypto exchanges, to also not restrict them too much in providing the services. So I think when it can be also connected with the innovation, that it will sustain beneficial for users, and it will also sustain decentralized, then I think the users can definitely benefit from the cryptocurrencies in the future, as well as from the payment transactions that it provides. Yeah.
Yes. In addition to that, in my point of view, all of crypto exchanges, everyone required a new era of development in terms of adoptions, in terms of providing the facilities like they were having before. For example, I would like to talk about the nomination process. If I have opened my account on Binance and something happened to me, what will happen to my fund? Who will own the fund? So this is the big problem. If you people who love to have nomination process and all. So these kind of facilities needs to build on the market. People need more insurance, more security side. People are still scared to put money anywhere else, because now the concept is in the people's mind, if you don't own the key, you don't own the fund. That's typically correct. But still, we need to figure out a solution. Like I would like to mention one name, like Fireblocks. There's a custodian partner, but I'm not promoting anyone, but I'm just saying that one example that gives you the insurance. So the people who put the fund, they have normal, my fund is secure. The fund is not going anywhere because the crypto exchanges got hacked 2017, 18, 19, so many exchanges. And we saw people got scared and the market got dumped, and so many things happened. So my point of view, we should work also in the development side, where we should make people more easier. What people want, we should not make the things which is we want to impose anything on the people. We need to make the things which people need. For example, which I give a few examples, and also usability and adoptions. If you see in last 2 years after the corona, so many new people adopt to blockchain, adopt the crypto exchanges. After India imposed the taxes, so many people from India, they move out from India exchanges to going to the foreign exchanges. After Ukraine, Russia, so many people started signing up in the different exchanges and they started putting money there. But still, they need to figure out one solution that can provide and facilitate all the services they need in normal life.
Great, so we'll open it up to audience Q&A in about 5 minutes. But I want to know, on a point that Osama brought up, which was quite interesting, is giving people what they want. And I think this is a really interesting place to take the discussion, because if you look at the US market, you have a lot of people who are doing Bitcoin to invest, right? To get rich quick. But if you look at Argentina or, parts of Africa, even right now, Turkey suffering from 50-60% inflation. I was just in Argentina, which has 50% annual inflation, right? So the second people get paid, they convert as much money as they can into dollars, but they're limited, right? The government says you can only convert $200 a month, or from Argentinian pesos to $200. After that, no, you got to keep your pesos, right? So what do people do? They try and get as much Bitcoin as they can. So it's interesting to see how different markets think of crypto and Bitcoin particularly very, very differently. So while, again, for an American it might be nice to try and get rich, but for people in a lot of these countries where they can no longer trust their fiat currencies or government-backed currencies, it's actually livelihood. So do you think that this kind of contrast in terms of use case is going to drive the future of exchanges? Anybody?
Yes, I would like to mention that inflation, that's a very good point. Suppose the example in Argentina, if I'm having 100 and next year it will be 50. So now the crypto is actually, for one project I would like to mention, like Terra blockchain Luna, they give fair farming up to 15% on a stable coin. So it's still upside plus point. So these kind of projects are coming to the market. I love to explore the new projects like this, and I would also request everyone to know more about the new projects that keeps actually adding the value in the market. So the Luna is a concept like it's burn Luna and mint UST coin. The UST is a stable coin. So that very less people understand that matter, field farming and so many scam and other things happen, so people are scared. But there's a good project still in the market that can actually solve this problem by giving you correct and good value in the returns in good API. So 15 to 20% APY, I think in the stable coin, that's I think I never seen in this like for past 2-3 years on the correct and regulated projects.
See, I would like to start with a saying: necessity is the mother of any invention. You cannot compare a market or a region to another where the cryptocurrency is going to be treated. You'll find in some markets it's negligible, nobody cares about cryptocurrency, and in some markets it's so high and in so high in demand, it's because of the nature and the community that requires that one. The example that you have given in Brazil, it's one of them. What I said about the repatriation of the capitals, that's two. US, if you take, let's take the US as an example. What does US need from the world? They are the leaders of the financial institutes. So do they need cryptocurrency to deal with this, to do that? Definitely there is no need for that one. So you will never see there's a huge demand from a market for a cryptocurrency like a country like United States. On the contrary, you will find investors. All the wealth asset managers, they will be chasing you to get your money to put on that and invest it to that. Portfolios of, instead of having it in a structured notes or blue chip, any kind of investment vehicle that you would like to put it, they will give you an option as another option as a crypto. But when you come to this region and you come to those countries who have got border problems, financial institute problems, definitely you see there's another solution. I'll give you one problem that's happening in United Arab Emirates because of the regulation, which is related to the properties. When you're purchasing a property in United Arab Emirates, you need to do the payment through a manager check. And the commission, now they have changed it. Previously it was with another managed check. and then you have to pay the service fees for the registrar with another check. So if I'm not a resident of this country, how can I open a bank account and have a check for that? Bitcoin, or crypto was the solution, and one of the first companies that started as one of the mega developers is the Mac, who have started accepting the cryptocurrency against the property, and they will issue on your behalf the required documents and the financial instruments for the government's requirement in order to issue the title deed. For me, as I see, my personal opinion is that it depends country by country, regulation by regulation, jurisdiction by jurisdiction, and the most important thing is political derivatives and the acceptance in the world itself. Today, if you're going to say that United States, because an investment country, I agree with you, 100%. If you're going to tell me GCC is a very high trading market for crypto, again, I'm going to agree with you. Two different opinions for two different jurisdictions, but this is because of the requirement of the place itself. I would like to compare something with one of your videos, which I seen it a lot, I love it. Your comparison of the McDonald's burgers and meals. From a country to a country, it is different. Why is it not being offered in all of the countries? The only place is in the United States, and it's in one branch that they offer different things on different weeks. But going to different countries, you'll find specialized meal for that. And McDonald's plays actually one of the biggest financial, how can I say, bases for any country. And giving you an example is the value of a Big Mac meal and how is that being afforded for. So saying that cryptocurrency is going to be the future is definitely the future, because currently we are seeing a lot of countries, their central bank is debating and they're putting regulations to issue their own cryptocurrency. Taking an example, United Arab Emirates, in 2023, the central bank with the SAMA, which is from the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia, they're doing a coalition in order to create a cryptocurrency for the inter-border, cross-border, cash transfer for the trade and the business, the SMEs that they're working, including even the, corporate clients. Instead of using the conventional banking instrument, which the cost is very high, they will use this crypto, buy it, pay that small fee, get it done, get your business done over there. The structures where the central banks of United Arab Emirates and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia can work together.
But doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose of what crypto was originated for, is when you have central banks having such a big say in value?
Any central bank, like a jealous wife, is very protective of its own currency. With all respect to our sisters here. So any central bank, the value of the country itself, it needs to protect the local currency itself against the other currencies and baskets that they put inside, the backups that they put in that one. Saying that, future is inevitable, no matter you like it or not. It's like an electric car. 10 years ago, people were laughing at you why you're having it, even in in the United States, trying the Toyota, the Prius. It's a good car, you drive it, and everybody was making fun of it. Today, they're fighting, there is a queues, and there are people who are waiting in line to get those cars. Tesla cannot compete with the orders with it. It's similar to the cryptocurrency, because it's providing solutions, it's gonna come. And it's inevitable that the regulatory authorities, irrespective if it's a central bank or a licensing regulator, they have to adapt this for the future. Because it is enormous amount of cash, and the government needs to protect its own citizens against any kind of fraud that is happening. So therefore, they need to find regulations where it can be adapted to the local currency and the local economy.
I just want to add on again. I'm not sure how I should put this, but if you notice, there's a huge difference in terms of how we look at centralization, decentralization, innovation, and so forth. Yeah. But then, if you really look at it right now, if we continue to think in this manner, which is solely towards the more regulated space, we are going into and back to the whole capitalism way of life, and it's all going back. If you notice right now, is 5 years ago when I look at the audience, they're all young guys. I'm in my 40s, yeah, all young guys, 20s, and so forth. Right now, at this current time, you will see very old uncles talking about NFTs. 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, that kind of age. That kind of age, I think it's good to give a very good mature understanding and sharing. But also at the same time, it is very disturbing, you know, because we are losing the innovation part, you know. And then if we lose the innovation part, there are a lot of other downstream issues that's going to come in, you know. Because right now, if you go back to the very early topic about, you know, how exchanges are going to be like, are new exchanges going to survive, you know, is the limitation of withdrawal, you know, going to work and so forth. Actually, all these things are a good balance in different countries, you know, like a fine gentleman mentioned. It's a good balance. And the people on the ground, the grassroots and so forth, must try their very best to make sure that the things that they have proposed is going to be very sound. The government is going to listen to you and take very credible notes and find ways to execute them. You know, right now, it is lacking. And when I say it's lacking, there's a lot of downstream issues, because a lot of these projects and a lot of these regulations are led by people who are not practitioners. They just talk. They don't really understand what exactly happened in the space. You know, why is there a restriction? You know, I give you an example, in places like Singapore, for example, you know, there's no capital gain tax, there's no this, no that. But if you were to buy a Lamborghini and you pay your friend $2 million, do they dare to accept it? Because he will be thinking, how is he going to cash it out? After cashing out into the bank, will there be other issues? Can they use underground money changer, for example? So there's a lot of downstream issues. And I think the additional layer of innovation is going to help. And I hope to see new blood coming in, you know, not just creating projects that's going to last for 1-2 months and they are gone. I hope the young guys can come in to relook at the regulations and also the whole workflow of things. You know, I have very good friends in India, for example. You know, they really look very tightly on the tax. You know, how they are very unhappy about tax and so forth. But the thing is, if you look at it from an outsider perspective, they should feel blessed because their government is accepting it. You know, a lot of other governments are not accepting it. They are still in a very gray area, so forth and so on. So again, I want to say that in places like India, in South Korea, for example, they are putting innovation up front and also at the same time trying to protect all their people. You know, so we hope to see more people, new people in this industry and not just come here for a while and then they leave, man.
Great. I would like to mention that Indian tax. Personally, I was the most happiest person when the Indian government put a tax, because my win is like the government bodies is now looking into that matter. That's a positive side. People need to think that's a very positive thing. The government now stuff is working, so people don't need to worry about that. That's a very good regulation. Second option is, as you mentioned about the Ferrari, we need to build an ecosystem of the crypto, that people can use crypto for a bottle of water, Lamborghini, or anything. So the problem comes when they try to cash out. And we are still in a struggling phase in all the crypto industries. We are building the ecosystem. Every project is innovation. Definitely, I would like to say that innovation is required. And in the new innovation, definitely is required. And to be honest, my mom is still talking about NFT. So she is a painter. So she is definitely always talking about NFTs. And she learned about it and she teaches me new things about ERC 1155. So she is a bit techy also. But the thing is, now I see is a very positive thought, because now doesn't matter the age, everyone try to understand, try to learn, and try to adopt the things. And the best thing is now on the crypto exchanges or any platform the crypto, most users are between age of 14 or 25, very new age. So they are very quick to understand and all, not elders. So that is unexpected things is also coming. So that's very good positive things.
Yeah, just sorry, just to add some few things, just some ideas. The time is running out already. I think that crypto, to add something to this topic, why crypto exchange is still flourishing, well, they need to flourish, and I hope they will be flourishing for the next couple of years, but definitely they need to diversify. Like, this is one of the important things that they have to do, to diversify on different markets, as we have a lot of countries, not a lot of countries, but also, like, when we take an example from some countries in South America that already accepting crypto as a legal tender, maybe the crypto exchange will not be that utilized, but they need to diversify actually from the markets where they can actually, the users that can pay for this with the crypto, where they can actually pay for tokenized assets, like stocks, for example. We have security token exchanges already established. It's not a big market yet, but this is, I think, something that crypto exchanges should focus on and bring this market to the people, where they can actually buy tokenized assets like stocks, bonds, ETFs or indices, and actually have the same rights as if they would buy the physical stocks or bonds. So this is something that I like. This is something, the idea that I'm also supporting, and I hope that all of the crypto exchanges will be providing this kind of possibilities and opportunities for the people and for the overall market. Yeah.
So at this time, we'd like to open it up for Q&A. So yeah, if we can go, while she goes to the mic, if you want to.